Hey guys, welcome to the Lovely J podcast. This is Coco Bowden. Y'all know what we finna do. We finna cook and I'm fixing to talk. What little bit I can talk, I will talk. But y'all, I think all I'm gonna eat today gonna be some rice. Try to make like some rice and veggies, and that'll probably be it for me. I've been sick for 2 weeks now, and I still don't have my voice back. I do feel it coming back, but still there's the sickness there. I think this is acute bronchitis. Can't go to the doctor because the doctor won't see me unless I can make a payment, and your girl can't make a payment right now. Okay, I can't make a payment right now, so pretty much, I'm left to fend for myself, and I feel like I'm doing the best I can. With what I have. I have some antibiotics I had here from a previous situation. I have my breathing treatments. I have like inhalers. I have the COPD inhalers. And I also have the fast acting inhalers, for emergency attacks. And I have been having to wake up out of my sleep because these coughing attacks come on. And it's always around 6 o'clock, come to think about it. And I've been having to wake up and tend to that, and I have to go ahead and take like 2 breathing treatments every time I get up. It's something now. Listen, now, it ain't for the faint at heart. Because being sick is being sick. And this thing is bad. And I hate that I cannot go to a doctor right now. And yet I don't feel like I need to be in somebody's emergency room either. I feel like I'm getting a little better. Anyways, before I cook the rice, I need to cook me some... I need to cook. What is it that I want to cook? I'm going to mix these rices because I ain't never had them before, so I'm going to be mixing it. Some healthy grains, quinoa blend, and brown rice along with some yellow rice. I'm going to mix them all together. I know brown rice takes a little bit longer to cook than the yellow rice, but I'm still going to mix them together. Anyways, about this sickness, like I said, I believe it's chronic bronchitis, and it does hurt. I'm not going to lie, it hurts, and it takes so much energy from me. It takes a lot of energy from me. And having to take those treatments so much is, that alone just, ugh. I'm tired of taking treatments. I had this little bit of tonic water. It's diet tonic water. But you know what? I did not know tonic water was a soda. Did y'all know that? I looked at the carbohydrates on it, and I was like, oh no. Carbohydrates was high. And then when I started looking more into it, it said that it's a soda. Wouldn't have never known. Okay, so what am I fixing to do right here? I am going to cook me. You know what? Hold up. I gotta find it. I gotta find it. I'm gonna cook me an egg and bologna sandwich. I've been on those a lot lately. Where it at? I don't see my fresh bologna. No, that one. I have some somewhere. Oh, I know what that smell is now. That's thing over there ready to cook. I'm over here messing around. I'm coming. Well, I didn't see my belongings. Where's it at? Okay, I ain't even gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna cook me an egg. Ooh, what's this thing popping? Okay, I'm just gonna cook me an egg. I don't know what I did. Okay. I gotta have something. I haven't ate all day. So that's why. Let me see, an egg and a little piece of toast to hold me until this rice gets done. Okay, y'all, so I need to talk about what I was going to talk about. Because cooking-wise, I ain't really cooking nothing that's like some kind of recipe you need to know. No, I'm not. Let's get down to it. So I want to talk about, I gave up my career now for ministry. I'm still in the music industry, in the gospel industry, but I no longer look at it as just, I no longer look at it in the form of, oh, I'm just trying to get paid. I don't look at it like that anymore. Now I'm seeing the ministry in it. Because when people leave you and leave your side, people need to know that there's more people out here than just those tired friends. When I got blacklisted, it hurt me. I ain't gonna lie, it hurt me. But it also helped me more so than it did hurt me. It separated the real ones from the fake ones, or the ones that were just benefiting off of me and gaining off of me. Because I did have a lot of knowledge into the music industry and how to go about doing certain things. Like I look at the award shows and, I knew how to get all into all that. If you had an artist, you didn't know how to put your artist on these big time shows that you see on TV. Hey, I knew how to do that. I knew how to get your artist in there. I knew how to get your artist out there. I couldn't do it for myself because I was one of the people that's always pushing for everybody else. So I thought if I was to have success, that somehow I was going to be a disappointment to God. That's how I was thinking back then. Because I was thinking, just to be with God, we got to stay at a certain financial level, which, wasn't true. I learned better, though. As I grew more into it, I learned better. But here lately, I just decided that I'm having so much problems trying to get artists onto my shows. All I have is my talk, really. All I have is my talk, and those who previously sent music to me, I have their music, and that's what I play mostly. And I know sometimes people may get tired of it, but that's where I'm at right now in life. I can't, and I will not force people to send me music or anything. If I'm blacklisted, may the chips fall the way God allows them to fall. That's all I can say on that. I'm not trying to win no cookies here. I got an eternal goal, and that's the goal that I'm sticking by, is my eternal one. Because this one right here in life, this ain't getting it. But my eternal goal is the one that I'm following, and that's why I said that, far as everything goes, I want to stick in that realm of, instead of saying my career is the music industry, I want to stick in ministry. I gave up career for ministry. And it just feels different to me when I look at it as the ministry that God gave to me, because God did give it to me. If he wouldn't have gave it to me, y'all, I would have been exhausted with people and with, just trying to come on here. And, you see your numbers get low, you see your numbers get high, you be like, oh, I'm tired of this. This sucks. I haven't been one that's been tired of it, because it did become my ministry. This outlet became the place where I could tell you testimonies of how I overcame certain situations. Just like if you play back, really it's over. It's probably about 1,500 episodes of just this show alone, or more, 1,500, 2,000. I had to keep deleting episodes, but somewhere out there, there's still out there episodes. And I just had to turn it into my ministry. Like, this is like my ministry. It's not a career. It's not a place where I want to play with people's feelings or try to take people for money. And it gets hot because it's real ministry, because no ministry is perfect. If you don't have some times in your life where you fail at things, then, you don't allow God to show you better. So here, I can fall. I can fall hard. I can fall lightly. I can fall heavy or light. But I can fall. And when I fall, I can get back up, because I'm not in a place of career readiness. I know that's what we're taught, career readiness. I'm in a place of ministry. My life is the ministry that God has given me, and I want to look at it as such. And it doesn't stop anything that I'm going through just because I call it ministry. It probably make it worse, really, because now we got devils, people who are serving the devil openly. They want you to know that they're serving the devil, and they want you to know that they are against anything that comes against their power of darkness. And so either way it goes, you become a target. Yup. But I didn't give up on anything that I do. I just had to change how I was looking at it. I had to look at it as a ministry. It's not being just no career. It was a career when I first started. When I first started in the music industry, it was a career. Once you see how quick people can turn on you, that's when it starts becoming a ministry, according to how you respond to them turning on you. I thank God I didn't lose it all because of people. I trusted people who did not have my best interests at heart. I gave in to people who I thought could help me go a lot further in the industry, and come to find out, they just needed me to be one of the numbers. See, let me tell y'all how this thing works. You got some people that see your potential, and when they see your potential and they see that God inside of you, like that God in you fitting to get big, and it's fitting to outshine them, outdo them, it's nothing they can do to stop that. But there's something you can do to stop that, is by being desperate to be on somebody's team. There were times that I knew I had the skills, but I was desperate to be on people's team. And that's where I learned a lot, but at the same time, I had to take hard falls, because they put me on their team so they could stop my progress. See, because once you start working with somebody else or working for somebody else, you're no longer working on your goals. You're working on helping them build, and your building going to go lacking. And that's what happened with me. My building went lacking because for 8 of those years that I worked out there hard and diligently, y'all, that's my air came on. I helped others build their foundations and platforms, and mine just, the more I build with them, the smaller mine got. Yep. The smaller mine got. And then when it came down to the blacklisting thing, you know, once I got blacklisted, I thought I was small already, but they sure enough pulled me back. They blew me up just so that they could pull me down to have a hard fall. And thank God my mind was in Christ, because if I would have failed outside of Christ, it wouldn't have been no coming back from that. Because you got to look at, that's ego and pride and career. That's why I say mine ain't no career. Mine is a ministry. I don't care how you look at it. But I label it myself as a ministry. Because when you sit back, you didn't work hard to build your name. You didn't work hard to build your brand. Career. And all it takes is one person to hate you for it to be gone, blown away, just like that. One person in power. Let's say it like that, because that's the talk most people understand, is when you start saying power. One person in power with money. It takes that one person to get whiff of your name, and they don't like something you've done or don't like the way you act, and next thing you know, bam, they put a lick out on your name. You become a target. You become an enemy of the state. When you become an enemy of the state, you know how many people out here say they don't believe in racism, and how many people out here say they fighting against racism, and the truth is, they are fooling it. They're not fighting against it. They're fooling it. I don't care how many marches they get. If you're a black person and you're doing a march and a protest, you better go hear what Martin Luther King said. He said he led his people into a burning building. He did that. And he got the Nobel Peace Prize for leading his people right into the burning building. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about Martin Luther King, but what I am saying is that if you don't have something in you outside of determination, because determination is what gets us up. It's what drives us. We determined to do this, determined to do that. If you don't have someone inside of you outside of that, when you fall, it can destroy every piece of your life. It can destroy you to the point you don't come back from it. There were times I didn't feel like I was going to come back from that industry loss, that industry hit. Because when I started showing up to programs, people started treating me funny. I went from friendly faces, getting hugs and saying, hey, how you doing? And, what you got going on? Can I assist you in this? Do you got some music for me? I went from saying all that, industry language, to people rolling their eyes at me, looking at me like, I'm not going to give her my music because, something out on her name. Her name is flagged. I don't want to give her my music. Nope, I don't want my music played on that station. I heard what they say about her. Now, whatever they said about me, I don't know. But I do know it was said. So I went from that. I came home that night after that program. I was like, wow. People were blowing horns at me. You hear me? People were blowing horns at me. They were turning their nose up at me. Every time I walked in certain rooms, people just start coughing. Just start coughing all over the place. And I was like, is everybody sick or is it me? The truth is, everybody is sick in the mind because they think they can control you by that hate and that manipulation like that. Well, I soon learned that I wasn't wanted there. And that's when I was like, okay, you know what? That's fine. That's fine. I'm going to take my knowledge for what it is worth. and put it where it was supposed to be anyway, because that's the way God will humble you down. God will let you see that those people that you think you in with are not in with you. You can be in with them, and they don't have to be in with you. It broke my heart. Now, I ain't going to lie. It broke my heart because not only was I getting done like that by industry people, but, you know, I had a few guys I was digging. Yeah. You know, still young, still waiting on my husband. I was in my 30s. I'm almost 50 now when I first started in the music industry. So I had a few young guys I was digging on. I had a few older guys. I had a few who were digging on me. And the sad part was, the only reason why they were digging me was because they were part of the honey traps. I learned later on that I was a bet. I was somebody's bet. Yeah. I was somebody's bet. They betted $1 on me. $1. Can you see that? Somebody bets $1 on you to say that I bet you I'll sleep with her first. And that bet, I was like, what? I never would have known, but I made a guy mad enough one night that he told it all. You know, it's different levels to things, and you know, if you push somebody's button long enough, you got some that's gonna dry snitch, some gonna water snitch, some just gonna flat out tell you, some gonna still remain true to the game. However, if you get an insecure man will tell you things so that you won't, so that, you know, he can fool you into believing that he is the man. That he's the man that knows everything about the big men, that he is a big person. So because of his insecurities, he gonna tell you things that you're not supposed to know. I wasn't supposed to know that I was a $1 bet. I wasn't supposed to know that. And in this time, some of the biggest names in gospel music and legends, you know, here I was having a chance with anybody I wanted to be with. But I didn't. I didn't be with nobody but one person. Regardless of what I was, you know, regardless of what the industry sent, how many honeypots they wanted to send, I only fell for one. And it probably was because he was the one that told me, you know, that I was the bet. And he even had betted on me. He ended up getting me too. Yes, he did. If I tell the truth on it, can I tell you the truth on it today? That he ended up getting me. And that was the hardest. It was one thing to learn that I was a bet, but it was another thing because my trust was not broken with that person, because we had then built the bond. We had chemistry. And when I found out that he was the one that won the bet, it broke my heart to know he was the honeypot that was sent to me. And then I thought it was over, but it wasn't. Even though that was so, he grew to like me. He grew to like the real me and to know the real me. And I grew to like him. And no matter how close we got, there was still a guard up saying, girl, you can't. This is as far as you can go with him. Now that's ministry. When you know in your heart that you've done wrong, but you got to make a choice. Do I go with what my heart says, or do I go with the discernment that God is sending me? The discernment was so strong, and every time I would define or go against what God would send in his messages to me, I would get hurt. It wasn't a physical hurt. It was an emotional hurt. I get hurt every time. God would send me dreams and visions. And I didn't know how to use my ministry then. And what I would do was I would run back and tell him, everything that God is showing me and telling me. And, even things about him, his family. I would, run and tell him things that God only needed for me to know in order to fulfill the ministry the assignment that I was given. And I had to learn the hard way. You got to shut your mouth. Some assignments aren't for you to share with others. That's just for your safety. I didn't know that God was looking out for my safety like that. See, God would look out for you in a way that looks stupid. It looks crazy. It's mysterious. And you will think that you are doing it all on your own. And then you get further down the road and look back and you got to say, oh, I know that was God. Foolish as I was, I know that was God. God would send me dreams, and these dreams would be on point. I mean, every dream I had that was on point, it was like stepping, it was like I knew word for word what somebody was going to say or what they were going to do. And I wasn't even really that close to God because I was out there fornicating my tail off with this guy, just fornicating, just lusting up something, just doing whatever we want to do, But ministry was still in me. It was still in me. And God was still using me. And to this day, I believe the reason I was there was to be a distraction for him. He was there to teach me a lot about family and building things. And at the same time, I learned a lot about him. I say all this to say that no ministry is perfect. And things can happen before you know it. And when we know it, we need to make things right with God. We need to make things right. I look at my podcasts and I say these podcasts are, I don't have many people that listen to me. I don't make any money off of this, no big money. I make enough to buy me some bread and eggs. Yeah, maybe a soda and some chips to go along with it and maybe a little Debbie cake. I make that much. But my true source is God. And every time I start straying away from the things of God, there's always this peace, this discernment. The Holy Spirit just keeps pulling me back every time. And that's where I want to stick to. So I know you got to label it career. But I want to put what I'm doing as ministry. It's not just a career to me. It's a ministry. Yep. And y'all, my eggs and stuff are done, so I'm going to get ready to eat that. Now, if you want to know more about what happened with that relationship, I'm going to tell you, we good friends to this day. And I still do. Oh, my God. Let me tell y'all. He may have won the bet, but that wasn't all that dude won. That dude won my heart, too. He just didn't know it. To this day, he's the one guy. And I've been in 2 other relationships. But none of those relationships hurt me like that situationship. And I think I would tell a story on that on Adult Stories, because on the Adult Story podcast that I got to tell a story on that. Because, look, ever since I've been 15 years old, I've been in relationships. Long-term relationships. One with 10 years, one with 15 years. And I went through hell in those relationships. One relationship, both relationships with domestic violence, and I went through it. I went through it. Ooh, if I was to tell you the story of everything I went through, because I went through it. But another day for that. But nothing hurt me like that man in that situationship. Man, I waited for that man. I'm going to say this. I don't even think that it was that he didn't love me. I just think that the love he had for me wasn't enough. I think there was a small part that loved me, and his pride overrode his love for me. That's what I think. And so we never had we tried the relationship for 2 months and that ended, but we just couldn't stay away from one another. So that situationship hurt me more than both of my long-term relationships altogether. I'm still dealing with that. And I don't mind being honest with myself about that and honest with y'all about it. I'm still dealing with that. I see that man right to this day. And my heart still just melts. Even though I know who he is, my heart still just melts. And that's where self-control comes in it. And I have to say, heart, now listen. I can't go by you always because you'll stir me wrong. So I got to go by the Holy Spirit. And the Holy Spirit reminds me that, hey, God will not withhold any good thing from you. If God felt like that man was good for you, he'd send him with a ring. Whoop! He put a ring on it. And I always told this to God too. This is another way that I know that it's possible that he is not the one for me, my husband, because I asked God to give me a man who has never been married. That's what I asked God for. I asked him to give me a man that's never been married. But I don't know if God going to honor that or not. Now, that's my heart's desire, is to marry somebody that's never been married. I could be his first, and he'd be my first. That's what I want. But that man there, that's a stronghold. That's a stronghold walk, and I ain't lying. I had to fight temptation with that one, because it was just so much good in that. Like, how could it be wrong? My mind still ain't comprehending on that. So when my mind don't comprehend, I had to go to the Spirit. I had to go to the Scripture and take captive of every thought that's not of God. I had to take that captive, because if I don't, I'll be grabbing this man. Whew, I saw this man 2 weekends ago. I hadn't seen him in almost a year. I saw him in the flesh. And I still got joy. I got aroused to the point where I was like, oh my God. A sister had to pray to calm down. Y'all, this is how strong them spirits is. And you can hear my voice, how hyped up I get about it, because I'm telling you some truth. And I still have to fight. That fight is hard. And when he walked away, I felt drained. Because he wasn't the man for me. But my heart had then grew fond of him. And you got to know the difference. Anyways, my food is getting cold, and I know that was good for you right there. Good for you. That was good news. That situationship, boy, that situationship can break areas in you that a normal relationship won't do. And it's hard. But we'll talk about it another day, another time, another channel. Just be waiting for it, because I ain't going to talk about it. It might be tonight. It could be tonight. It just depends. Got to see how my vocals do, because you hear I'm still hoarse. We'll see. All right. Peace, love, and happiness. Y'all have a great one.